I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlyn Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day.
If you're a basketball player but just a recreational golfer like Caitlyn is, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespects the LPGA golfers by thinking she can go into this tournament and do anything.
Caitlyn Clark trading the basketball court for the LPGA green? No one saw it coming, but it was exactly the off-season energy shift fans didn't know they needed. From her very first swing, one thing became clear. Caitlyn Clark's influence doesn't end at the three-point line. Her presence didn't just turn heads, it charged the atmosphere. Crowds gathered, cameras locked in. And just like that, the LPGA felt the full force of Clark's star power. Even the most established names in women's golf were surprised by the spotlight she brought with her, and they responded with genuine respect. What unfolded was more than just a crossover moment. It was a blueprint on how to welcome greatness, something the WNBA could take a page from. Leading the way, world number 1, Nelly Korda. Instead of treating Clark's attention as a threat, Korda embraced it. She welcomed Caitlyn as an equal, not just a visitor, but a fellow athlete deserving of recognition. The vibe? Supportive, not standoffish. And in that contrast, something powerful was revealed. While Clark has often met resistance in her own league, on the golf course she found open arms. Where some in the WNBA see rivalry, Korda saw opportunity, collaboration over competition. In doing so, she set a tone the sports world could learn from, one built on mutual respect and shared spotlight. Stick around, because this story is just heating up. Up next, what Nelly Korda had to say about Caitlyn Clark, and why her words are echoing across both sports.
She's so sweet, so nice. It was nice to kind of get to spend some time with her. We've messaged a little on Instagram beforehand, but to get to spend some time with her and to see the influence that she has on people, bringing people out here, and to see how amazing of an influence she is just for sports was really cool to see firsthand today.
Mexican golf sensation Maria Fassi didn't hold back when it came to showing support for Caitlyn Clark, and her words spoke volumes. This wasn't just a polite nod, it was heartfelt recognition, a sign of how far the Caitlyn Clark effect is reaching across the sports world. Fassi's reaction was pure respect. No shade, no side eyes, just genuine admiration for a fellow woman athlete making waves. While some in the WNBA have struggled with Caitlyn's fast rise to fame, Fassi chose a different path. She didn't meet Clark's spotlight with envy, she met it with celebration, and in doing so, she set an example. One that proves real sportsmanship isn't about rivalry, it's about lifting each other up. Her support wasn't just a nice gesture, it was a statement that Caitlyn Clark's impact isn't confined to basketball courts. It's crossing boundaries, reshaping conversations, and earning applause from elite athletes across the board. This is what progress looks like. Women backing women, excellence recognizing excellence, and success shared instead of silenced. It's not just about one player. It's about what happens when respect replaces rivalry, and the entire game rises because of it.
I wanted to come say hi and introduce myself. I play out here on tour. I'm Maria. Thank you for being out here. It's very cool what you're doing for sports, kicking ass.
The Golf Channel didn't just report on Caitlyn Clark's LPGA debut, they leaned all the way in. Their coverage went beyond the surface. This wasn't just about a basketball star trying her hand at golf. It was a nod to something bigger, the power of cross-sport collaboration. By shining the spotlight on Clark, the network recognized an opportunity to elevate women's golf while introducing Caitlyn to a whole new fan base. It wasn't a gimmick, it was strategy, and it worked. In embracing her moment on the green, the Golf Channel showed exactly how media can drive momentum for women's sports. They saw potential and didn't hesitate to act. The result? A win for everyone involved. Clark expanded her platform beyond the hardwood, and the LPGA got a fresh wave of attention it richly deserves. That kind of mutual boost isn't just good publicity, it's smart, future-focused branding. And here's the real takeaway. When women's leagues lift each other up, everybody grows. While the WNBA still seems unsure about fully embracing Caitlyn Clark's rising stardom, the Golf Channel took a different approach. They welcomed it. They showed how recognition, not resistance, creates progress. What happened here is more than a media moment. It's a model, a blueprint for how collaboration, not competition, can reshape the landscape of women's sports. And if other leagues are paying attention, this is the playbook worth copying.
It's been a huge win already for the LPGA in terms of publicity. Now, what the LPGA does with this going forward, that remains to be seen. But given Clark and her love of golf, saying, she was going to go off and become a professional golfer, I think there's an opportunity here for the LPGA to capitalize and maybe make this into more of a partnership that could benefit both sides beyond just this one-up.
The Golf Channel didn't just cover Caitlyn Clark, they celebrated her. Their praise kept coming, and so did the support from fans and players. Her presence brought fresh energy to the tournament, the kind that gets people talking. The golf community embraced her fully, showing respect, excitement, and zero hesitation. It wasn't just about her fame, it was about her impact, and that warm welcome stood in sharp contrast to the cooler vibe Caitlyn's faced in parts of the WNBA. While some in her league have been slow to accept her rise, the golf world showed how it's done, with inclusion, admiration, and respect. If the WNBA's watching, here's the lesson. Support your stars, or risk losing their shine.
There's definitely a buzz in the air. I think there's a lot of excitement about what's to come. Caitlyn Clark is actually speaking as a part of a panelist this afternoon. So for those who are lucky enough to be in the room, that's exciting. Of course, people can watch it and stream online as well. But I know players are getting excited about seeing some of Caitlyn's action tomorrow.
During the tournament, Caitlyn Clark was asked a simple question. How did you get into golf? Her answer, unexpected, heartfelt, and completely captivating. She explained that golf wasn't something she chased. It found her. What started as a casual interest grew into something deeply personal. Over time, it became more than just a way to pass time. It turned into a place where she could refocus, reset, and challenge herself in new ways. This wasn't just a story about picking up a club. It was a glimpse into who Caitlyn really is. A competitor, a learner, a true lover of sport in every form. Here's what she said about how golf became part of her life and why it means so much to her today.
My dad, I loved it. My dad played a little bit growing up, and then I remember for one of my birthdays I asked for golf clubs, and I got this cute little pink set. It was probably from, who knows, the store up the street, and a cheap not plastic, but pretty cheap pair. I had them for a while. They were cute. And then eventually got some nice clubs, and I really love it. That's
TV host Rachel D'Alto didn't mince words in her latest video. She broke down exactly what the LPGA got right with Caitlyn Clark, and how the WNBA missed a major opportunity. D'Alto praised the LPGA for seeing Caitlyn's star power and using it to boost their tournament, attract new fans, and elevate women's golf to a bigger stage. Meanwhile, the WNBA had the same chance, and dropped the ball. Her message was simple. The LPGA embraced Caitlyn. The WNBA held back, and that made all the difference. D'Alto called it a blueprint for every league. Celebrate your stars, lean into their momentum, and use their influence to grow the game. It's not just smart strategy, it's the future. Here's what Rachel D'Alto had to say about Caitlyn Clark, the LPGA, and the lesson the WNBA can't afford to ignore.
How this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, how can we watch Caitlyn? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on television.
When Caitlyn Clark teed off at the LPGA event, the entire golf world took notice. Social media buzzed with reactions, fans tracked every swing, and the Golf Channel even kicked off its broadcast 90 minutes early, just to spotlight her debut on The Green. That kind of energy, you can't fake it, and you definitely can't ignore it. TV host Rachel D'Alto noticed too, and she pointed out the striking contrast. While the LPGA celebrated Caitlyn's presence, the WNBA has been noticeably cautious. According to Rachel, instead of fully embracing Clark's star power, the WNBA seems caught up in trying to balance it with her rivals, dimming a light that should be used to shine on the whole league. And that contrast? It says a lot. Caitlyn's moment on the golf course proved just how powerful her presence is when she's welcomed, supported, and allowed to lead. Right now, it looks like golf understands that better than her own league does. Coming up next, Rachel D'Alto breaks down why Caitlyn Clark's influence is bigger than basketball, and what the WNBA must learn from the LPGA's playbook.
Now, from this event, I have only seen and heard of positive things. I didn't hear one thing about how her fans are toxic. I didn't hear one thing about there being too much spotlight on Caitlyn Clark, and it should have maybe been on the professional golfers that are there. We didn't hear any of that. And those are the types of things that we have been hearing for the entirety of the WNBA season last season.
When Brittany Lincecum, an accomplished professional golfer and major champion, spoke about Caitlyn Clark, she didn't just offer a compliment, she issued a declaration. She called Clark a game changer, and not just for basketball, but for the entire landscape of women's sports. And it wasn't just flattery, it was a reflection of what millions are seeing unfold in real time. Caitlyn Clark is rewriting what it means to be a star in women's athletics. She's not just showing up and putting up numbers. She's commanding attention, rewriting records, and shifting the cultural conversation. She's drawing the kind of headlines, crowds, and endorsements that were once thought to be out of reach for any female athlete in team sports. Brittany's words carried weight. They weren't scripted or rehearsed. They were raw and real. You could hear it in her voice, the awe, the admiration, and maybe even a little gratitude. Gratitude for what Clark is doing, not just for herself, but for every woman who plays a sport, watches one, or dreams of making it big. Because what Caitlyn Clark represents goes far beyond three-point range or buzzer beaters. She represents possibility. She represents progress. She represents a future where women athletes no longer need to ask for the spotlight. They just own it. And Lincecum knows exactly how hard that fight has been. For years, women in sports have had to battle for visibility, respect, and fair compensation. They've had to outperform, outlast, and outprove. Clark, she's turning those fights into undeniable moments. Moments that pack stadiums, crash streaming servers, and break viewership records.